Thank you for joining us today. I'm CJ Craig.
And I'm Jackson Rowbottom, and thank you for joining us on this edition of UCentral News.
And with the Dow closing, the economy is experiencing ups and downs.
And our own Maury Blair has more for the situation.
The New York Stock Exchange opened higher Tuesday after dropping over 200 points Monday. Meanwhile, CNN cited a New York Times report that Amazon is preparing to lay off thousands of employees. And Amazon Executive Chair Jeff Bezos explained to CNN's Chloe Mullis what he meant when he recently tweeted his advice to batten down the hatches, and also gave his recommendation on how to manage financial risk.
If you're an individual and you're thinking about buying a new, large screen TV, maybe slow that down, keep that cash, see what happens. Same thing with a refrigerator or a new car or whatever. Just take some risk off the table. If you're a small business, maybe delay some capital purchases. Do you really need that new piece of equipment? Maybe it can wait a little bit. Have some cash on hand. Just a little bit of risk reduction could make the difference for that small business if we do get into even more serious economic problems. So you got to play the probabilities a little bit.
Any idea in terms of what you're hearing or just with your expertise as to how long this recession could last?
I don't think even the most experienced economists in the world can answer that question. It's a very challenging thing to try and estimate. So I think you just have to try and be reasonable about it, take as much risk off the table as you can for yourself. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Although the market closed higher today than Monday, it pays to be mindful of some ways to avoid overspending. Students can prepare themselves by developing personal financial skills. One way to do that is to go to mymoney.gov and learn the My Money 5. There, students are advised to review their pay and benefits, as well as save and invest. It's also wise to have emergency funds and insurance, plus keep an eye on spending. And build your credit and beware of the costs of credit. That's all I have for you today. You might want to invest in a winter coat. Let's go to CJ for weather.
Thank you, Maury. That's right. You definitely do want to invest in a winter coat as we are starting to see colder and colder temperatures as we move further into November. Here in Edmond, sitting at a fair 45 degrees, winds blowing to the north at about 10 miles per hour, humidity as well, sticking around from a lot of that precipitation yesterday at about 48%. And it is feeling like it is 40 degrees out. So overall, a very brisk day here in Edmond, very chilly outside. Might want to grab a jacket or a coat on your way out the door. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather headlines coming up for this week. Winter has definitely arrived. We are going to start seeing more and more cold temperatures as we move further into November and into December. Cold temps will stick around as well this week. We are going to see most of the temperatures remaining at about 40, 45 degrees around that range. And we are going to see less wind as well, as that wind is going to be dying down. So bringing those wind chills down as well. However, the temperatures will still remain low. However, that's all that I have time for right now. I'm going to throw it back to Jackson.
And as always, thank you, CJ. Now, the dining department here at UCO is bringing back Friendsgiving. Be sure to grab your friends on November 16th because Ayers Kitchen will start its event at 11 a.m. and end it at 2 p.m. that afternoon.
And seniors, you've got about 2 weeks left until graduation, so make sure you have your guest tickets ordered. If you have more than 4 guests coming or even don't need all 4 tickets, those tickets are still transferable within a college ceremony so other fellow graduates can give them away.
And also happening tonight is bingo. The Native American Student Association is putting it on in the Clara Looper Room. So come on out at 6:30 p.m. for some fun and a chance to win some even more fun prizes.
And today is Central Pantry's 10th birthday. To celebrate this week, Central Pantry is inviting the community to learn how it was founded, who it serves, and how to volunteer and donate. If you want to get involved, you can check them out in the Nye University Center.
And Bronco Bites is still looking for volunteers to help package up leftover food from Ayers and transport them to Central Pantry's fridge in the Nye. Shifts would be every week and only last an hour and a half. And Christmas season is just around the corner, and so is the OKC Safari Zoo Lights. You can reserve your tickets, or if you'd like to get involved, the Safari Lights are also looking for volunteers. Volunteers can help guide guests through the displays, plus every volunteer is promised a free ticket to the Oklahoma City Zoo per shift that they help with.
And it seems we've skipped over the season of fall entirely and gone straight into winter. Just how cold is it going to get? We'll have your full forecast coming up right after this.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to UCentral News. And yesterday we were expecting a lot of snow here in the metro. However, that seemed to not be the case as most of that has melted away. However, other parts of the state did see some snowfall as well, up to 2 inches in parts of northwestern Oklahoma. But for us here in Edmond, most of that has dissipated and gone away. Let's take a look at your weather headlines coming up for this week. Winter has arrived. We are starting to see some more of that winter weather making its way around some of those colder temperatures. And speaking of cold temperatures, we're going to have a lot of those this week. Most of those temperatures are going to be sitting around the 40 to 45 degree mark, as well as less wind. So wind chill won't be a very big factor coming up in the next couple of days. However, it is something to still keep in mind as you're going out and about. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions around Oklahoma right now. And as you can see, a lot of cold temperatures here in Oklahoma. Guyman sitting up there at about 37 degrees. Woodward, 45. Oklahoma City here in the metro sitting at about 46 degrees. Nice and cool and crisp. Idabel as well in the south sitting at a 41, something that they are not very much used to. Usually in the southern part of Oklahoma, they're used to some pretty warmer weather. But most of the state is feeling the effects of that cold front that has moved through. Let's go ahead and take a look at your lows here in Edmond tonight. Going to be sitting at a 27-degree low under partly cloudy skies. For one of the first times this season that we have gotten underneath freezing for our lows temperatures. Winds will die down as well, going about north at about 5 miles per hour. Humidity as well, that's going to die down just a little bit, down to 30%. And there is no chance for rain tonight, so obviously a very cold night here in Edmond. Let's go ahead and take a look at your lows around the state. And it is a lot of cold temperatures for a majority of Oklahomans. Guyman sitting up there at a low of 16 tonight. Woodward as well, 17. Here in the metro, about 29 will be your low. Ardmore, Lawton, and Altus as well, sitting there in the south in the high 20s, excuse me, as well. Let's go and take a look at your highs coming up for tomorrow in the state. And a lot of it is going to remain in the 40-degree range. Some parts of southern Oklahoma, McAllister, Idabel, Ardmore will be sticking around 50 to 51 degrees. However, the further north you go, those temperatures will start to drop. Oklahoma City, 46, Clinton, 41, Tulsa, 46 as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at your daily forecast coming up for tomorrow morning here in Edmond at 7 a.m. It's going to be a very chilly 29 degrees, so you might want to grab a heavy coat or something that you can take off later in the day, as you are going to be feeling very, very cold in the morning. However, that is going to warm up relatively quickly at about noon, going about 41 degrees. The sun will definitely make a difference with that warm energy coming from it. However, going into the evening time at about 7 p.m. is going to be a cold 35 degrees as well as some cloud coverage there as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at your 7-day forecast coming up right here. And it is definitely a lot of colder temperatures going through this week. Winter is definitely upon us. Friday right there, our high is going to be 32. We are going to see another cold front make its way through Oklahoma. With it, it's going to bring some colder winds. However, our low will remain relatively the same at about 23 degrees, and then into the weekend, 44, 48, and 52, respectively. So, but that's all that I have for weather. Obviously, very cold outside. We are definitely getting into the throes of winter.
That's right, but guess what? Some warm things coming our way, because guess what? Our own Lauren Henry is going to be coming back from break with social media. You won't want to miss it.
To believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Well, it looks like, as Lauren said, Jay Leno has been suffering from some burns. He has been hospitalized with an accident involving gasoline.
That is right.
And right now, we're having a few issues with our social media department. So right now, we're going to toss it over to Patrick, who's got more for our sports update.
Welcome back, Broncos fans. I'm Patrick Talbot, and this is your Tuesday Sports Update. Let's go ahead and get started with some UCO basketball now. The 11th-ranked UCO men's basketball team is in action tonight at home against the Barclay College Bears. Central is 1-0 on the year after beating Paul Quinn College on Sunday afternoon. Coach Bob Hoffman says it was good to get on the floor against somebody else on Sunday, adding, "We had a good preseason of practice and scrimmages, but now it's time to go for real." Tip-off for tonight's game in Hamilton Fieldhouse is at 7 p.m. To the NFL now, and then there were none. The Philadelphia Eagles' quest for an undefeated season came to an end last night against the Washington Commanders. 1972 Dolphins can breathe easy as they will remain, at least for this year, the only team to ever go 17-0 in the NFL. Washington controlled the ball all night, possessing the pigskin for over 40 minutes, in turn keeping the electric Eagles offense off the field. Philly didn't help themselves out as they turned the ball over 4 times. Commanders moved to 5-5 on the season, and the Eagles moved to 8-1 on the year, still the favorite in the NFC East. The third iteration of the college football playoff rankings are set to release tonight. Nothing expecting to change in the top four as Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and TCU all took care of business this past weekend. TCU remains the one team in the Big 12 to have a chance at the playoffs, and they'll need to finish the season running the table. They travel to Waco this weekend to take on the Baylor Bears, and then they finish things off in the regular season at home against Iowa State before turning their attention to the Big 12 championship. Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Vols on the outside looking in right now as they'll probably stay at number 5 after handling Missouri this last weekend 66-24. Number 6 Oregon loses to number 25 Washington, so they will probably fall out of contention tonight. LSU and USC will slide up to 6 and 7, I think, to replace Washington. And here at home this week, it's Bedlam week. And in what should be one of the most exciting week and weekends in our state, it feels rather underwhelming to say the least. OU coming off another abysmal loss in Morgantown last weekend and continuing to disappoint this season. No consistency on the offensive side of the ball all season, and the defense continues to show it has holes all over the field. OU needs to win one of these next 2 games against either OSU this weekend or Texas Tech next weekend just to get bowl eligible. Meanwhile, things in Stillwater going better for the Pokes. They're 7-3 on the season after last weekend's gutsy win over Matt Campbell and the Iowa State Cyclones. Cowboys not as effective or efficient as they were earlier in the season on the offensive side of the ball. Spencer Sanders still continuing to fight through that injury. OSU not without their own defensive issues either, giving up close to 30 points a game. And, you know, in a game where offense has ruled the rivalry for basically as long as I've been alive, I really don't know what to expect for Saturday's game. OU's favored by a touchdown, but I'm not buying it. I think Mike Gundy and the Cowboys pull it off in Norman. Kickoff for Bedlam in Norman is at 6:30 p.m. Now to the NBA, where the Oklahoma City Thunder were on the road last night against the Boston Celtics. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continuing to show why he's the dude here in Oklahoma City. SGA getting things done on the defensive end right here and converting it into a quick 2 with the flush over Celtics guard Derek White. And stop me if you've heard this before. Former Oklahoma State Cowboy Marcus Smart, going off against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Smart scored 20 of his 22 points in the second half, including this tough layup to put the game away for Boston. Celtics win at 126-122. OKC now 6-8 on the year, and they are on the road tonight against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. And the FIFA World Cup in Qatar gets started in just 5 days with group stage matches getting underway with the host nation Qatar set to take on Ecuador. Harry Kane and England will take on Iran on Monday, followed by the United States taking on Wales. Tuesday opens up with Lionel Messi and Argentina squaring off against Saudi Arabia. Mexico goes against Poland a little later on. And to wrap it up, the defending champs France take on Australia. Germany and Spain will get it started on Wednesday, followed by Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal and Brazil getting started on Thursday. That's all I got for sports today. Let's go ahead and send it back to Jackson and CJ at the desk.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Now, when we come back, we will have that social media for you with Lauren Henry. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I'm Lauren Henry, here to keep you in the social media loop. It has been reported that actor and comedian Jay Leno has been hospitalized after suffering burns. An accidental gasoline fire took place in his garage over the weekend, leaving Leno with burns to his face and hands. Leno told Variety, quote, "I got some serious burns from a gasoline fire. I am okay, just need a week or two to get back on my feet," end quote. He also went on to say that he is receiving treatment from the best burn center in the United States and expects to fully recover. And Reddit threads are full of discussions about Walmart's $3.1 billion offer to settle opioid lawsuits. The company is being accused by multiple states' attorney generals that they failed to regulate opioid prescriptions. Many Reddit users believe that a settlement is not enough of a repercussion and that more people need to be held accountable. One user even said, "You don't get to rule over a company in the shareholders' interest, and those interests apparently include killing or seriously hurting hundreds of thousands and then escape the consequences when the company is sued." We will keep you updated as this story continues. And Taylor Swift fans have been waiting for the day to buy tickets to her upcoming tour, but Ticketmaster has left thousands waiting. Garrett McMullen was one of those fans. Here's what he had to say.
I registered probably about a week ago for Taylor Swift's pre-sale. I registered online just like everyone else. So I got the code last night for me to get on pre-sale for today. I got on there at about 9:15 a.m. this morning, and the pre-sale officially opened at 10 a.m. Pre-sale opened up, and it very quickly said that there's 2,000 plus people ahead of me. And then it quickly said that they had to temporarily pause the line due to some issue on Ticketmaster's end. I hop on Twitter. Twitter was blowing up. Twitter was insane. Basically, it looked like Ticketmaster had all the codes that they had sent out, the special codes for people to access the pre-sale. They didn't verify all those codes. And so they basically had to go in and fix a lot of things. I'm actually currently right now still in line. It is currently 2:37 p.m. and I got in line at 10 a.m. this morning. And I'm not even halfway there yet. There's still...
McMullen and others are still unsure but hopeful that they will be able to purchase tickets today. And Beyonce is making Grammy history. The singer has received 9 Grammy nominations this year, as well as an Album of the Year nomination for Renaissance. Beyonce has 28 wins to date and is the most awarded female artist in Grammy's history. If she wins 4 out of her 9 nominations this year, she will become the most awarded artist of all time. The Inspection, a film about a gay black man's journey becoming a Marine, is set to release in theaters soon. Writer and director Elegance Bratton, along with stars Gabrielle Union and Ellis Pope, reflected on the struggles and the profound meaning of the film.
When it comes to, our lead character's experiences, his desires, his motivations and fears, the film is 100% autobiographical to me. I discovered my value when I went to the Marine Corps.
Why is this weapon your best friend, recruit?
Because it's the thing that protects the Marine to my left and to my right, sir.
Both Bratton and leading man Jeremy Pope found meaning in the black queer narrative.
Yes, he wrote the film. Yes, he's directing this film, but he's also healing in real time. And what I found by being the vessel and doing that, I was able to get healing.
My mom, she won't even talk to me. Most of my friends are dead or in jail. If I die in this uniform.
A black queer story, we had to, there were some other routes that we had to take. But we found it. And once we got that microphone, we're never going to put it down.
I am never giving up on us.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And a popular Oklahoma landmark has received $11 million in renovations and is now set to reopen just in time for the holidays. The Myriad Botanical Gardens Crystal Bridge will be open again this Friday, November 18th. The conservatory includes a 13,000 square foot plant display, as well as a new multi-purpose classroom and gift shop. And that's all I have today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you guys very much, and we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we know that there's pickles in the air.
Yeah, that's right, and a gun's interesting hiding place, what all of this means, as well as my last look at weather when we come back. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to UCentral special coverage of the 2022 general election.
Is that democracy demands the middle. It demands compromise, and if it doesn't, then we're finished.
Harris being the president of the Senate, if those votes go to 50-50, that tiebreaker. Yep. So this is definitely going to be one that, we might not even know tonight.
Nope. I'm still live here at the Oklahoma History Center in Oklahoma City, where Joy Hoffmeister is having her campaign watch party.
We're back here at the Oklahoma GOP watch party with Lieutenant Governor.
Of course, we projected earlier, Governor Kevin Stitt will take a second term as Oklahoma's governor projected.
That's the thing we really want to stress to people is that it is a democracy.
Absolutely.
Your voice matters.
Absolutely.
Change doesn't happen overnight.
And welcome back to UCentral News. Let's take one last look at your 7-day forecast coming up real quick. And the bang story for this week is on Friday. We are going to have another cold front moving in, and that high temperature is going to be sitting at about 32 degrees. However, going into the weekend, we are going to warm up just slightly to 44 and 48 respectively. That's all that I have for weather. Let's go ahead and toss it over to Jackson. Jackson, what do you have for us?
Thank you very much, CJ. Now listen, everyone. There are candles with scents from lavender to lemon and from peppermint to pumpkin. But now, Velastic brings us a new Big Dill with their latest launch of a dill pickle scented candle. Your favorite vinegar-drowned cucumber scent will be filling the house for the low rate of $29. The candle will be selling for a limited time, so be sure you get that sweet and sour fragrance in your living room before they go.
That's right, a pickle-flavored scented candle.
That's right.
Definitely something that is very new. And in other news, if you plan to travel this Thanksgiving, the TSA has a message for you. Don't stuff your firearms in your chickens.
Yeah, this particular passenger was caught trying to smuggle a firearm inside a raw chicken. The TSA, however, took to Twitter to make light of the situation, saying, "There's a personal foul here, and it is a waste of time. So leave the firearms and their chicken transports locked up at home this holiday season and do your best to enjoy that quality family time."
And
you think you've seen it all.
That's definitely for sure. Why even a chicken at that point? Why not go all the way into the festive spirit and go with a turkey?
Well, once you smell the chicken, you got to think that's game over. I mean, you can't do anything crazier than bring a raw chicken onto an airplane.
With a gun.
With a gun through an X-ray machine. And so
that is definitely one of the weirdest stories I've ever heard. If you're going to smuggle something, don't do it in poultry.
Yeah, I think that's the good life lesson here. And that is going to be all the time we have left for you on UCentral today. I'm Jackson Rowbottom.
I'm CJ Craig.
And I'm Lauren Henry.
Good night, Oklahoma. Stay safe and stay warm.